I'm muted. Listen, listen. Hey y'all. I don't know if Mercury is in Gatorade or what is going on, but your girl has had a day, okay? A day. But we here. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all let me know in the chat that y'all can hear me because I am unmuted now. I am actually on screen. I actually for like 10 minutes I was talking and thought that I was live and I wasn't even live. Today has been so ghetto. We good? Y'all can hear me? No sound? No sound? Can y'all hear me? I'm unmuted, I believe. Let me turn the background music down a bit more. We live. Yes. Okay, y'all can hear me now. Perfect. All right. Listen. I literally shouted y'all out. I was all up and through the beginnings of this chat. Let me start over again. Let me get my energy right because this episode came and cleared the day, cleared the way. I was a little drained going into watching this first episode and I was vibrating kind of low, but now I'm feeling really good. I was so excited to get on this live. I'm so sorry that I'm late, y'all. My dog, Cole, some of y'all might know because y'all been here before, but he has been sick, so he actually had an accident right before I was supposed to go live. So I had to take care of that to make sure that he was okay before I can get on here. So I'm so sorry that I'm late and then the technical difficulties. But we here now. We finna turn up because I was so excited for this tonight's episode, y'all. But first, let me shout y'all out. Carter Huff, what is good? HUH, what is good? RK Collection, hey. Red is not a flavor. What is up? Daphne Covington, Ella, Cold Soul 59, Mercedes Mitchell, Daphne Covington, A, G Liz, Jazz Jordan, A Fulton, hey. Who else? Jay. Shout out to one of our moderators in the Discord, Jay. Also, y'all, I didn't even update the link in the description box, but I'm gonna do that when this live is over. So if you're not a part of my Discord, once I update the description box, please sign up for it because that's where we're gonna be able to get like the updates. If I'm running late, if I'm doing an impromptu live or anything like that, any information I need to give to y'all really quickly, I'm gonna start posting it in my Discord channel. And you got to be in there so that you can make sure that you know what's the tea. Gabby Rivers, hey. Jamal Bryant, hey. Naya was good. Naya had hit me up like, listen, if we talking in this group chat or what? I'm like, I'm going live, Naya. We gotta talk about it when we go live. I don't want to lose this energy. Jasmine Levy was good. Sonia BP1, hey. Sharon McNeil, what's up? Jalen Royal, hey. Kenny Ford. Lawrence Gerard, Evan Middlebrooks, Shari P's in the house, hey. Melissa Esamello, hey. I know you staying up for me. I appreciate you. You gotta work in the morning. But we finna have a good key. We finna talk. It's finna be real. Y'all. Y'all, the episode. Like, how y'all feeling after last night's or tonight's episode? I am feeling all the feels. Like, I feel really good. There's a few moments that I'm just kind of like, made my eyes twitch, but for the most part, I feel amazing. Like, I feel really good. Wait, what's going on with my chat? Why is that not popping up? Let me get y'all a little chat action up in here. Y'all, we had everything that I was hoping to have. So many things got addressed. They did what needed to be done. It just is glorious. Right? It literally has been given what needed to be gave. Is my chat popping up? I want to make sure that y'all can see each other's comments on screen. What were y'all favorite moments from the episode? This is gonna be interesting to figure out what y'all decide. What's y'all's favorite moments? Oh, my pictures is all out of order. Spilivia Energy was on 10 million. Nurse Joy came back. Yes. Yes. Why is my chat not popping up? Y'all, I think Mercury is in Gatorade because I've had all the technical difficulties, all of the little issues today, It's very, very weird. I have no idea what's going on. Bolivian energy had me wanting a relationship. Listen, I ain't gonna hold you. That's real. That is so dang on real. What is going on with my little chat box? Yo, let me get this together. Y'all can go ahead and enjoy some of these photos while I fix this little issue that's happening behind the scenes. There we go. Now the chat is loading up for everybody. All right. Let's see. Spencer and Olivia Day. All right. So are we just going to go ahead and jump right on in? Let's go ahead and start with Spolivia. Spolivia. Y'all, I'm so excited. I literally was almost brought to tears looking like watching this episode because I was just so dang on happy. If you're not following me, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all that jazz at ERICAVAIN.com. But I like was tweeting Naya up a storm, like I am over here losing it because Bolivia literally understood the assignment. And honestly, y'all, this is what I have been asking for. I know Naya and I have had extensive conversations, right? Like extensive conversations specifically about wanting Olivia to communicate, wanting to, see them be teenagers, wanting to see what it just looks like for them to be happy and just in their relationship and not necessarily having like too much crazy drama, just like regular, like normal relationship, teenage relationship type stuff. So the biggest thing today or tonight in their episode was, will they or won't they go there? Are they going to go and decide to sleep together? Even though they both want it, and ultimately they decide not to in this episode. And I was just so proud of the both of them, but more so not even proud of just them making that decision, but proud of like how they arrived to that decision, how they were able to really just articulate to their support system, Spencer, his mom, Olivia, Nurse Joy, and just say like, this is special. Basically they got to the point of like, this is special, and we all know that, right? Like we all knew that this is special for the both of them, and it was just so cute to actually hear them talk about it and hear them process it in this way. To me, this is the most that we've actually seen them process in reference to their relationship amongst all of the things that's going on. Like I feel like all of season 3, I was like, well, we were all talking about like we just need conversations. Like why aren't they talking about this stuff? All of this stuff is happening, but nobody's talking about anything. We know what Olivia is kind of feeling, kind of thinking because she's doing things, but we don't actually know why or any of that. And the conversation that she had with Nurse Joy specifically, I love, because even with her not really understanding what was holding her back or if it was tied to her sobriety, her simply like articulating like, I don't know, and then basically like asking for help and trying to discern what it is or trying to place her finger on it. To me, it was like, okay, finally, at least we know that you really are confused in this moment. We really know that you're like, you have never experienced this before, so this is why you're having a hard time navigating this specific thing. And I was so happy for them to decide not to actually go there, because we have seen all of these teens pretty much very casually jump into sexual relationships with one another. Like we saw, Layla and Spencer do it when Sean had passed away, but they were already feeling each other. It was going to happen, but it happened. We see Olivia do it, once she's in a relationship with Asher, and it felt like sex to me with all these kids. Jordan doing it with every dang on body, like everybody, so much so to the point where he actually thinks that he got Simone pregnant. Like I said, we saw all of these teenagers like not really take sex seriously. So I was like so excited, or not necessarily take it seriously, but like make it special. So I was so excited when we started to get like the hints of like that was the reason why they are struggling with like oh, why haven't they yet? And are they going to do it? Like, I was like, yes, please bring back the teenagers talking about, like, this is special. Like, sex isn't just anything that you can just jump into. Thank you, the kid 6467 for your super chat. Thank you, thank you, thank you. How are y'all feeling about the decision for Spencer and Olivia not to actually jump into a sexual relationship right now? Um, let me see. Let me see. Lawrence Gerald said, Bolivia been through hell and black back. I'm glad that they're smiling and enjoying life. Arcade dates for the win. Seeing Bolivia have their date was goals. Naya said, let's wait a while here for it. I have no issues with Bolivia waiting. Thank you, uniquely Jasmine. See what's up. We love to see it, says Ella. They have time. It was the right choice. I'm so proud of them for not rushing it. Yes, so proud of them. It's like, then you really get to understand how meaningful this relationship actually is, right? Because they're literally taking such great care and like time and thought and energy, and they both are so nervous. And this is all that I want. I wish we could have got this toward the end of season three while they were going to get together and that, but better late than never. They definitely gave us everything that needed to be given in reference to their relationship. Best decision because it was mutual. Um, okay. Kenny Ford says it was refreshing. Yo, this whole season has been refreshing. The direction that they're going in reference to this season as compared to season three, so dang on refreshing. Um, And I also am excited. If you haven't already, I did do the synopsis breakdown for episode 4. I'm excited for us to see more of what Olivia got planned for like her future. She's going to be applying for the summer internship at the LA Times or LA Tribune. And this is what I've been asking for. Like last season, we just saw Olivia make all these rash decisions, do all of these things, but we weren't ever really clear on what she wanted to do in life. Aside from like she wanted Spencer, it was like, what else do this girl want? Like, we know that she had this podcast, but we ain't seen her do much with it aside from leaking this damn body cam footage. We know that she can draw, but y'all ain't revisit that ever since therapy, and we saw the freaking Basquiat's that she had drawn while she was in, rehab. So I'm so excited. Like when watching Olivia in this episode, it was just so refreshing to see her being present, being grounded, and articulating exactly where she was at. Even in the moments where she couldn't really actually figure out where she was at, she could still articulate, like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know why I'm feeling this, but I know that I'm feeling this. I don't know why I'm thinking this, but I'm thinking this. And then even going to the whoever made the comment about, hey Antonio, whoever made the comment about the handshake. The handshake did it for me. I tweeted this tonight too. I was like, yo, what they're doing, and again, y'all, I gotta watch myself because I'm watching this as an audience member, but I'm also watching this as a filmmaker. And for me, when I saw that handshake, I was like, yo, they're literally telling us that she has seen Nurse Joy quite a bit. We haven't seen the actual like appointments. We haven't seen them get together and do all of that. But the fact that they got a handshake means that she's seeing her regularly and they have this really, really solid rapport, which means, yes, Olivia is moving in the right direction. And all this time, that's what I have wanted. I've wanted Olivia to just be supported and feel grounded and be making great strides within her recovery. And it's so crazy because they brought up time in this episode twice. They brought up time with Olivia when she said that she was initially waiting 30 or 90 days to sleep with Spencer so that she could have her 90-day chip. But then they also brought up time again with Asher when Asher's like, in the last 18 months, my life has changed completely. And it really brought home for me, I don't know how y'all feel about this, but it brought home for me how little amount of time has passed for all that we have seen. We are literally we've watched 3 seasons, which is 3 years of television, happen in 18 months, yo. All of season freaking 3 happened all of like 8, 12 weeks. before this moment right now. So like that's another thing that we got to think about in reference to when I see a lot of people are like rushing for Olivia to sleep together and oh they need to get married and all of these things need to happen. It's like yo, their time has not really passed that much in this season. We're starting to see them actually move like weeks at a time between episodes, but before that, y'all, we've been coasting in the same amount of time for a very very long time. Jazz Joy says it was everything. Their sponsor relationship has progressed so much. It has. And it was so beautiful to see. Like, I love that for Olivia. Like, I'm praying that all of the rest of season 4, this is what Olivia's giving. She might be giving confusion around her feelings, sorting through, talking through her feelings, communicating with her partner, Spencer, just being out here, having a good time, and figuring it out along the way. Let all the other drama, all the big major stuff come from some other characters because Spencer and Olivia deserve. Okay. HUH said they showed us that Olivia and Nurse Joy is super close to her to ask about her relationship and intimacy. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. And I'm even glad that Olivia like felt comfortable enough to even ask. And going back to both of them actually having conversations, it was really cool to see Spencer talking with Grace and confiding in her in this way and talking about how this date that he's planning has to be special. And she made the comment of how she hasn't seen him blush like this since he was in middle school. So we literally got the setup for, yo, this is meaningful, this is something major, this is next level love, and I'm here for it. I'm totally, totally, totally here for it. Hey Darius McGill, what is good? Yes, Bolivia literally gave us the pre at the beginning of the episode, the talking at the park, even like those little moments at the beginning where Spencer's like, oh, I forgot I was dating a coach's daughter, and she's like, you cannot pass up on this opportunity. Like so many people in previous videos were like so willing or ready to be like, Spencer can't go anywhere because he can't leave Olivia. It felt so good to listen to her say like, you can't pass this opportunity up, basically, to like, because he's like, I wanted to talk to you before I even told him anything. She's like, this is not even a question, this is not even a this is a no-brainer, you have to go. And I love that because one of the things that I've been saying in DMs and comments and all of that, responding to some of y'all, is that they have to be at a solid enough place to be able to live and go for full lives for themselves. Like their relationship should not hold them back from any opportunities that they have going on. Again, if the relationship does become a hindrance to other opportunities or for them to grow and experience life as they want to, then it gotta go. If the relationship becomes an issue or competition or distraction from Olivia's sobriety, it gotta go. But they are in a healthy place, they are in a solid place, they are strong. And if you haven't already, please go and watch my episode, I think 2 breakdown video where I talk about like, don't be worried about Spolivia. Like from what the writing is giving us, at least for right now or for the foreseeable future, they are good. So everybody's out here worried about Layla, worried about the distance, worried about this decision, that decision. Nothing is going to break Spolivia unless Spolivia wants to break. So y'all can chill on that. Yes, Gabby. Gabby says in the chat, I also thought it was great to hear Olivia admit that she feels different about being alone. She admitted that with Nurse Joy. Yes, hearing her say, I feel stronger, I was like, God, yes, that's what y'all know that dang on Jill Scott meme? That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. I literally was just sitting here like, that is what I'm talking about, Olivia. You are capable, yo. You are so strong. Like, you are much stronger than you think you are. You do not need that damn bottle. You don't need no damn pills. You honestly do not need all of these people that you think that you need or that you think that are leaving you in the moments where they're just living life. Like, you are super solid, sis. And that's what I felt when she said that. I was just like, ooh. Y'all, honestly, it kind of feel like graduation. I'm just so dang on excited. Like, I feel like we finally arrived at a place. We finally are able to visualize the growth that we were hoping to have for these characters. Yes. Lauren Sherrod says Liv basically told Spence, go do this. I will be here for you when you get back. Exactly. And we love to see it. Olivia is rooted and grounded, period. Yes. Exactly. So while we're talking about Olivia, they had quite a few like great moments. Like every time that they were on that screen, actually in this episode, it was just like so refreshing to see. I really, really enjoyed their date. Like watching that date play out, it was like, okay, this is giving teenage love. This is giving what it's supposed to be. Like we've seen them so much in like all of these adult circumstances, all these serious situations, again, having sex with each other. All of these teens are just running around having sex with each other, doing all of the things. But to watch them like have fun at this arcade and just like Spencer canceled the plans for this little fancy restaurant that he thought was gonna be it. Like he thought that he ate that, and then Olivia get lit up looking at the daggone arcade and a little like miniature golf thing. It was dope. It was so dope. Olivia has made so much progress. Red is not a flavor says is struggling watching these episodes as a Layla fan. We're gonna get to Layla. We're gonna give Olivia Day moment, and then we're gonna get to Layla because I ain't gonna lie, y'all. Layla in this episode is what was making my eye twitch. She was. Whew, the date was giving me Karate Kid vibes. I have not watched Karate Kid in a very, very long time, so I do not recall. But shout out to you, Antonio, for bringing that up. I'm trying to get to the pictures of the date. While I do that, I'm actually on. Can we get Coop out the way, y'all? We're gonna come back to Spolivia. Can we get Coop out the way? What is going on with Tamia? What is going on with Tamia? Somebody help us. I loved in this scene specifically that Spencer was like, "Oh yeah, come to Toledo with me." So like he literally challenged her BS about basically giving up and feeling like nobody's there for her and all that kind of stuff by like, "All right, well, I got an alternative for you." And I think that this is a brilliant. It was a brilliant thing to do because it backed her in the corner to like realize like, okay, you know, you want some BS. Tamia needs the Lord. Not Tamia needs to is annoying needs to go. She all the way spiraling. She's back to Tamia again. Yeah, she's Tamia for me. She's definitely Tamia for me because it's like, girl, and mind you, she's doing right by Spencer. She's showing up for Spencer. I love every time we get to see them on these dang on swings, y'all. There's just certain things in the series now that I have just come to associate with good things. Olivia, anytime she's wearing that straight hair, I get triggered. Anytime I see Spencer and Coop in the park, I feel great. I feel like I'm at a good place, a solid place, all of that jazz. Um, she's definitely trying, right? Like she's trying more so than what we saw in the last episode. Because in the last episode, she's like, I quit and I gave up hope. But then she also didn't talk to, she hasn't talked to Layla yet. So she got everybody holding the secret about how she quit. And you so big and bad and you quit, you walked away. It's not gonna work anymore because of your lungs. So then why are you scared to tell little Lele? That must mean you really don't want to quit rapping. That must mean you really still want to be a part of this, but you feel like you can't, which is okay and fine, girl, because you don't have to do this right away, but you do need to speak up and say something. Coop is in her own way. Jazz Joy says, I don't blame Coop for the Layla situation. I think she took too long, yes. But Layla also should have let her tell her herself instead of letting Asher make the statement and that be the end of it. I got some thoughts. On that. But I hear you. Tamia is too much to deal with. She's all over the place. Spencer always has to babysit her. She's annoying. Dang, y'all are really not. Now I kind of feel bad, and I'm back to calling her Tamia. All right, well, while we dragging people, can we go to another one of the scenes that was just the best for me? Mama Grace. Mama Grace popped up and out, and she handled Billy Bean, and it's like that's it, that's all. I'm so glad that she did it. I'm so glad that she was able to get to the bottom of it because it seemed like nobody else could, or he wouldn't allow it, which is very, very interesting because your wife has already had the same conversation with you, sir. You couldn't divulge this information to her, but that's neither here nor there. I'm gonna mind my business. I'm just glad that you offer Spencer snack, even though, y'all, he ain't apologized appropriately. That apology was not enough, nowhere near enough. But I'm glad that Mama Grace popped up and shamed him into getting his mind right. And Jordan knew what it was because he got up out of there. Billy is so childish, no other words to describe this young man. Grace gathered him nicely and neatly. Yes. Grace gathered, okay? Gathered. This photo, y'all, I was like, Grace looking at him like, boy, you sound stupid. This was one of my favorite scenes. And what I will say, y'all, I hear it. I don't understand. I mean, I kind of understand it. I don't excuse his behavior. So Billy's saying that the reason why he was mad at Spencer is because Spencer was able to push Jordan to a level that he has never seen Jordan play at, and that now Jordan is in therapy and he's becoming a better person. So you basically resent him for raising him. You basically resent him for filling in the gaps that you left. You basically resent him for being a positive influence on him. It also still don't make no damn sense, Billy Bean. But if this is what it's gonna take to squash it, I guess we just gonna go ahead and let your ass off the hook. But to me, I felt like I would have I would have understood or empathized more had he said that he don't want to lose Spencer, and or he just afraid to lose Spencer, and he don't, or even if he would have said, I don't know why I'm so mad at him, I would have registered that better, other than him like literally articulating, your son made my son a better man and I'm mad at him for it. What did y'all think about Billy's explanation? Billy is just upset that the teenager has raised his kids better. I see no lies. Yes, then didn't say sorry. Your so-called apology was to the team and not to Spencer personally. How you gonna make an announcement? Y'all are not just players to me, and I'm not just y'all's coach. Did you tell everybody that they was nothing to you? No, you told Spencer, so you need to tell him that apology. It was definitely whack. But did he realize that he was a trash father though, or did he use it as a scapegoat to like self-deprecate and like, oh, woe is me? Because I didn't feel like he actually registered that he was a trash father in that moment. We needed an apology. Yes, Spencer needed an apology, and we need an apology. Everybody needs a dang on apology. Everybody. All right. Zamir wants to talk about Layla and Asher. Do y'all want to talk about Layla and Asher? Honestly, y'all, I don't even know what to say. I want to hear. I'm gonna listen to what y'all got to say first. I'm gonna listen to what y'all got to say about Layla and Asher while I pull up these lovely photos, because I don't even know what to say. Like, now I'm glad Layla got her some. No, Naya, no. No. All right, before we go there, let's work our way there. Layla is bossing up in this episode. She got her little boss lady power blazer on. She got her little top knot with her little swoosh swoosh placal, right? She was giving, she was looking. And I appreciate it. In this moment, we saw her, pull up Preach because Coop has been MIA and she ain't with it. She like, yo, where's my artist at? This is your artist too. You out here working at a grocery store when in all actuality, we could be making this money, but you don't have your artist in the dang on studio where she belong. Where's your artist? What's going on? And shout out to Preach because he's a real one. He has been, holding Coop down and really just supporting her through this, which is interesting. I'm very, very annoyed, y'all. Very annoyed that we are keeping Amina. She is actually Preach's daughter. We're probably never going to see the paternity results, but we are going with it because he is now the full-time caretaker of this lovely young orphan Annie lady girl thing. But as long as she ain't see, like we saw in this episode also that she's trying to figure out who killed her mom. So she ain't see, she ain't the actual witness, so Coop ain't going to ultimately go down for this. Alright, but before I even go there, Layla. She's bossing up in this episode, and I understand it, but I also feel like something, it wasn't toxic, right? Like, I'm not saying anything that she did in this episode was toxic, but I don't know about y'all, I feel like it was toxic adjacent. Like, it wasn't actually on the nose toxic, but it was just like around the corner a little bit. What y'all think? Antonio, yes, you did. You told us that it was his kid. Ugh. Naya said you were gonna say I told you so. I can't accept the rented kid. Gabby says, I feel like Layla is showing her true self while healing. Okay, so this is the real Layla, huh? Cold Soul 59 says Asher is a retired high school athlete and Layla got a label to run unless he got vocals, he got to go. I can't. I can't. Kenny Ford says yes, very cold. And I was like, you going hard. Lawrence says Layla was on her shit. Not Layla was on her Suge Knight. Y'all. Not Layla running Death Row. Y'all are doing a lot. I can't bring Christian Mosley back. So if this is who Layla is actually going to be, like, I'm all for her actually being more assertive and speaking her mind and all of that. But I said that she was given toxic adjacent for me because she was given the beginnings of mean girlness, because I felt like there's one thing in reference to standing up for yourself and asserting yourself and not letting people walk all over you. But then there's another thing to just being mean and being malicious. And to me, she was given a lot of what they described JP to be. And I ain't like how that felt. Even though she wasn't necessarily wrong for doing it. I wasn't feeling it. Yeah, she definitely has but to me, I don't necessarily feel like the cold side is the real her. Like, I feel like the cold side is the persona that she adapted alongside of her perfect girl persona. Like, I feel like we need a Layla that is okay with feeling her feelings and communicating her feelings, not just shutting them down and like, all right, sign this paper, we're done. I thought we were family, but we weren't. Boo boo, bye bitch. Like, that's not that's not Layla. Like, Layla's hurt. Layla has invested quite a lot into Coop, has experienced quite a lot into Coop, and I want to see what that is doing to her emotionally. Like, this whole I get it, girl. You a boss and you got to be out here making decisions, but you acting like Coop never even mattered. I'm just like, it's ringing a little false to me. It's ringing like that little Layla that be isolating herself and acting like stuff don't matter or doesn't hurt her, and it does. Cassandra, hey, says Layla mentioned in the latter episode that she feels unheard. Her resolve was to be heard. I think she's learning too much to leaning too much to the other side now. Coop was wrong, but she's dealing with trauma. Exactly. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that she's swinging too far to the other side, which it happens, right? Like sometimes we got to go way too far left or way too far right to figure out where exactly is our grounded center. But watching it, I wasn't like last episode, the first two episodes, I was so excited. Like I was so proud of Layla. And in this episode, I was just kind of like, ooh, okay, okay, girl, this what you want to do. Naya, okay, you said you saw the Layla stuff differently. How did you see it? Oh, y'all got a lot in the chat. Darian says, I understand that she had to do what she had to do, but I feel like there was a way to go about it to someone who was your friend before signing as a business partner. Naya says, I think that Layla's putting up boundaries and is asserting herself in a way that is needed. Right, but did you get that she basically feels like Coop was nothing but an artist to her? Because that's what it was giving me, and I'm like, girl, that's a dang on lie. A whole lie out here in these streets. Antonio says, and Layla even said that she knows she's dealing with trauma and still said what she said, how she said it. Right, like, so it's kind of like what happened with Billy. Like, Billy wasn't wrong when he said Spencer, has this hero complex, yada yada. It was how he said it, knowing in the mind state that he was in. I got that same exact feeling from Layla and how she was communicating with Coop. Now, mind you, I'm not saying that we got to tiptoe and pansy around Coop, but I also think that we have to be mindful of her trauma and her mindset, especially since she's on the brink of like losing everything that matters most to her, and she's already acting out and pushing all these things away. You don't necessarily want to crush somebody's spirit specifically in that moment because they definitely can't handle it and can't rebound on their own. But I know like she has to be able to process her own feelings, right? Like she's dealing with what she's going through as well. I just am honestly, I'm really just confused as to why it's 2 weeks after her shooting and we're trying to get her in the studio regardless. Like why? You're trying to keep these venues at bay in Vegas for a performance. She was shot. She was in a coma. There are clauses like that in the contract. So yes, Layla Coop became a friend when Layla didn't have anybody else. I agree. I agree 100%. Yes, and Layla is also dealing with trauma. Right, but that's also what brings the concern to me of like she's also dealing with trauma, but we're not seeing in this episode, I didn't really see any moments of emotion from Layla. Like even in sleeping with Asher, she was just like, "Oh, it just is what it is." Girl, you feel something. Stop it. You've been feeling all of the feelings. You've been doing all of the things. You just pulled this lady off a cliff and then told her how you wanted to live and how you forgive and all of these things. And now all of a sudden you're devoid of emotion? How? How, Sway? I agree with that. Naya Coop didn't give her the courtesy of telling her like I'm struggling with trying to get back. I don't necessarily know what's going on. I feel like I want to quit. Coop should have definitely had a conversation with her. Layla's tired of being nice and I'm here for it. Right, but you also gotta like in being tired of being nice, right? You could be so tired of feeling walked on or whatever, and then you could wind up overexerting yourself in this way to make sure that you don't ever get walked on, and then wind up mistreating someone who never even was one of the people who walked over you. Does that make sense? So that's the only thing. Like I said that she's like adjacent. Like she wasn't actually toxic or problematic in this episode. I just feel like they were planting seeds for it. One, in her sleeping with Asher and acting like it didn't matter. Two, with her disassociating with Coop and acting like that completely didn't matter. Like I throw up red flags whenever I see Layla going through major life things and acting like nothing is wrong. Everybody want to talk about they fine. Everybody want to act like nothing is wrong, and those to me are red flags. When like, okay, something is coming, whether it's here now or if it's coming down the line, it's coming. Right, Antonio. That's what insurance is for. Antonio, listen, he's a performer within our community. He know how this thing go. She ain't had to handle it like that. I understand what you're saying, Naya, but she ain't had to handle it like that. What's good, Rondo? Just entered the chat. How you doing? Honesty without empathy is cruelty. Antonio, who told you to come up in here dropping gems and just gathering everybody? Yes, honesty without empathy is cruelty. I agree with that 100%. Hey, Shanika Harris. All right, Alisi. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing it. Layla ain't about to end up in no dang on mental institution. Stop it. Stop the presses. I can't. Okay, we can agree right there, Naya. Is hurt, and a part of her acting out and the hurt isn't communicating that. Oh no, I don't think that she was completely wrong in this episode. Like I said, she had grounds for every single thing that she did. I'm more so worried about the personal effects on Coop and on her for the decisions that she made. I don't necessarily think that her decisions were like wrong. I just think that it's going to be some fallout from what actually happened. All right, so then we're talking around it. How do we feel about her sleeping with Asher? Because honestly, y'all, I was ready for them to cut the dang on episode off when Spencer says, "I'm in love with you." Like, I'm really in love with you. Like, I was like, all right, y'all can just end it there. Like, I'm good. I got everything right before this moment. That's all I really needed. So we didn't have to even go this far. But then they wanted to keep going, and we see Layla trying to pull Asher up out the dumps and give him hope, and then also so proud of him and all of that. And it's just like, I blame y'all. I blame y'all for Layla and Ash in this episode, and I'm gonna tell you why. I blame y'all because we were talking about how I'm so anti Jayla and I don't want it to happen. And I don't remember what video. Now I'm gonna go back and look. I don't know what video, what comment section, what it was, but I do recall myself saying once, for all of this, I would rather her go back to Asher than for them to try to make Jordan work. And god damn it, I don't want this either, actually. I really don't. And I definitely don't want it with her acting like there's no dang on feelings there. And I definitely don't want it with Asher talking about you were the love of my life and I lost you. It honestly, honestly, y'all, when I was watching it, I let it fly right over my head like it almost did, like it almost didn't happen because it's so much in that action. And while it just seems like, oh, Ash is like, oh, I ain't gonna make it a thing, and she looking like, oh, it's gonna be what it was. This was not nothing. It was not nothing. I can't. Esamelo said I hated it. Antonio don't like it. Now you seeing everything a little bit differently. Our group chat is gonna be very interesting this week because you're seeing everything different, honey. You want Asher and Layla, Naya? Like for real? Like for real, for real? Both of them were feeling nostalgic. Can't they cast someone else for her? Please. Please. And definitely, like, I didn't even get to dissect because I haven't done my preview video yet for episode 4. And y'all prep yourself because after episode 5, they're not coming back until the 21st of February. The ghetto. That's all I can say. But I'm sorry, that even just stressed me out. What was I even saying? I'm so annoyed by that. When I figured that out, I was so annoyed. All right, what was I saying? Oh, the preview. Then I saw, like, I got a quick glimpse of the preview. I didn't actually watch the trailer for next week. I haven't done my video yet, so I'm going to talk about this more there because I really have to process it. But I do recall seeing something very quickly on social about them using this to usher in Jayla and having Asher and Jordan beef about Layla, and we don't want none of it. Like, no, I don't understand how else we got to say this. We do not want it. We do not need it. I don't like, just no. I would rather Layla be alone until she goes to college than be with Jordan or Asher. Let's go ahead and pin that because that's a whole everything that needs to be said. What happened to Thirsty Vanessa? What happened? What happened to Asher just being on his own and focusing? He's at the end of this single episode writing this essay. He's writing this essay for his life. I was like, go off, Asher. You really have grown. But not enough for me to think that you deserve Layla. I'm sorry. Yes, exactly, Kenny. Sex is not nothing. And these kids is running around here acting like it is. I said, what happened to the original plot of the movie? Exactly. I need to make a reel this week about this because Asher and Layla literally came out of nowhere. I can see how they can make it. They can make it work in reference to the story, but why? Why? Why are they doing that? Didn't Asher just beef over a character that doesn't exist anymore? Exactly. Tony R&B says I like the hookup. It's way casual. Don't you think we've seen enough casual sex happening on this show? I feel like Bolivia is ushering in a new era of special sex, and everybody deserves it. So, like, let's stop having casual sex and let's only have special sex. No? What's y'all vote? Zamir, what? Stop trying to make fetch happen, bro. Like Layla and JJ. No, nobody in this circle. I thought we had shaken hands and agreed, y'all. I thought we had come together, shaking hands and agreed that Layla don't need nobody from this whole group. HUH says I see Asher and Layla getting together in college. Why? We gonna talk about their hiatus. Yes, we just need a new love interest for Layla, period. I can't. And I guess if she really needed to scratch that itch, I suppose, but I don't want it for her. She deserves so much more. They had done so well with Layla up until this point, and in this episode, not to say that they like completely derailed her storyline, but it just, I was looking at everything like, why? What is going on? But because they had so many great things with Bolivia, it's kind of like it really didn't matter. Because like I told y'all, I acted like it didn't even damn exist. Zamir, Zamir, come on now. If Layla deserves Asher, Asher is just newly arriving to this evolved person boat, and he has had to come a much further way. Okay, so like, let's give him his kudos, but let's not jump out the window. NK does not hate Layla. She couldn't possibly have written her how she has to hate her. No, I don't think NK hates any character. So when I see that circulating the social webs, I'm just kind of like, all right, y'all. I hope Liv and Layla have a good kiki about this. You know what? The one piece of growth and the little nugget that we can pull from this is that Layla still slept with him, thinking that he said that Olivia was the love of his life. And when they were talking about that, she actually did seem completely fine with that idea, which to me just signaled that she has like laid to rest any kind of resentment that would be there about like, or not even resentment, but any kind of negative feelings that would be there naturally. Like this is 100%, I could understand if this was here, of like how these men have always chosen Olivia over her. And to be in this moment when she was still able to sleep with Asher in this casual way, and then also be like, yeah, even though I know like 2 hours ago you said that Olivia was the love of your life, she didn't seem really deeply affected by it. So that part I was just like, okay, this is still kind of in line with, she's actually over it. She actually has forgiven. As long as we don't see Liv and Asher, I'm good. I doubt we will ever see Liv and Asher again. If we ever see Liv outside with, if we ever see Liv without Spencer, I think it's going to be somebody that you guys would just never even ever think of. They're definitely planting seeds for something that we do not want, but they are definitely planting seeds for something. Oh, all of my pictures actually did not load. That's why. All right, so what else do we got to talk about? If what was the reason, HUH? If what was the reason that she slept with him? I agree, Alicia. Why does Layla have to have a love interest? What's wrong with her being by herself? I think a bunch of these characters need to be rocking solo dolo. No, Nanny 17. Olivia's not pregnant. Right. Cassandra, what I was saying in reference to choosing Olivia is like when they actually have the option, they make that choice. This Amina business because sis seems a little bit dangerous. All right, we done with Layla, Asher, and how Layla was operating in this episode? Because I agree, we need to spend some time talking about little Miss Amina. She's about to be a problem. And I knew that she was about to be a problem when she said Uncle Tyrone. Sis, who? Who? Huh? Girl, what? We don't speak of him. We do not speak of him. Yeah, if she does too much research into Mo's death, it's going to give up their story. I agree. CPS, come get Amina. No, Lawrence, we're talking about Amina right now. We're talking about Amina right now. CPS, come get this little child. We don't know whose child she is, but come get her. No. Sorry, y'all. Amina knows something for sure. I don't think that she knows something yet, but she will. She will for sure know something really soon. And I thought it was interesting with them having the conversation that they did between Coop and Preach of like Literally, he had to shoot the mother of his child. Now he has to lie to his child. I can't even believe that he's her. That's her child. His child. Lord. But he has to lie to her about it, and then also he got to work at a grocery store overnight, all because of Coop. So honestly, when all of that came out, I wasn't really mad. Like I wasn't mad about him actually discussing it in the way that he did, because I didn't feel like he was trying to take digs at her. He wasn't giving that Billy energy. But at the end of the day, it is true. Like literally, look at how your decisions, to me, are like reverberating through the universe and really affecting people. What I'm not here for though is All American turning this little child rent a child into a killer. Because if she start coming for Coop like Tyrone, I'm done. I'm done. Like she's all of 10. I can't. Yes, Lawrence. When she said Uncle Tyrone, girl, weren't you living in Philadelphia? How you even know who this man is? I definitely think Amina's going to be a problem, but I am very much so glad that she didn't actually see. She wasn't behind anything. She don't remember anything, so she can't actually mess up their story. She's just going to keep asking questions until she gets answers, and then tries to find answers on her own, which that'll take her a little bit of time. It'll probably take her all season, so that might be a storyline that just runs throughout the back of the season. I'm trying to figure out what is going to help Tamia actually snap out of this. We didn't get to see Patience in this episode. Next episode, we will be seeing Patience. Um, and I was really surprised to see Coop sign the paper right away. Like, girl, why are you signing? You could have been like, well, no, I ain't gonna sign yet. You could be mad at me all you want to, but I ain't gonna sign yet. Yeah, none of us can believe that that's actually Preacher's daughter. Mercedes, so I thought the same thing. I was like, okay, maybe Mo isn't really dead, but like they published it in the paper. Her daughter has been abandoned and now living with Preach. If 2 plus 2 is 4. Nah, we ain't getting no dang on DNA. We is not getting any kind of DNA. It's just not gonna happen. Not Layla scary. I would have signed that paper. I'd have signed that paper when I was good and dang on ready. Layla, you can go ahead and put this battery in your back all you like to, sis, but what you eat don't make me you know what, sis. Yes. Samir, we can't talk about Spencer and the Toledo State thing. Because y'all already know I said that this was a mistake from the jump. A huge mistake. And we got Carter signing off on it, Billy signing off on it, Grace pushing for it, Olivia being a supportive girlfriend that she should be, and she pushing, like, signing off on it. And then we come to find out at the end of the episode that the Manny, y'all's fave, that recruited Spencer, that gave him that big old pep talk and told him how he was the perfect guy for this program and how he looked forward to really, coaching him and all that, he ain't gonna be there no more. So not only was it a mistake because he had to sign early, but now it's a mistake because the one person that you actually connected with that you thought was going to be able to help shape your career, but then also shape you as a man, ain't even going to be in the program anymore. And I don't know about y'all, but I don't even like how the head coach look, y'all. I'm gonna just keep it a buck with you. I don't like how he look. Darian says, I see nothing but red flags. It's giving all type of red flags on the play. Literally. All types of red flags on the play. But the only thing is, y'all, and I gotta go back and look up at the NCAA rule. I don't know if a coach leaving could be something that helps him get out of this, but I'm just praying that that's the case. Like, The coach that actually recruited me left the program, and I was actually going for that coach. I don't know why Spencer said. Well, I know why he said it, because he felt put on the spot and he didn't want to be disrespectful. So he said it wasn't a problem. But this is a big problem, sir. As Darian says, we see nothing but red flags. Antonio, I don't care. Maybe I am profiling that man. I don't. He don't look trustworthy. He don't look like my career is gonna be in good hands. He looks like I'm gonna get in the middle of this state. I'm gonna get into Ohio and just be sitting here, looking simple, and not guided well. I'm sorry. That man does not look like he understands Spencer's struggle, Spencer's life, or where Spencer is actually trying to go. He might want to win a couple football games, but that's about it. I'm good. Spencer not going. He's going to end up at a JUCO with Jordan and Billy coaching. No shade to junior colleges at all, but Spencer don't deserve to go there. Jordan needs to go there because he needs to rehabilitate himself and get into a better position to position himself to a 4-year school. And then I also think I'm good on Billy coaching Spencer. I think after Billy showed his behind and did this little BS apology that's not really an apology, I think I'm pretty much good on putting Spencer back into Billy's hands. We don't need to touch Billy's hands no more. We didn't felt that. We didn't been down that road. We're good. I think we're good. Said he looked like somebody off a Dateline. There you go. See, Antonio, I ain't profiling. Something ain't right with the man. Spencer has enough of a chance to go to a normal college. He just has to play out. It don't need to play out with him going to Ohio. I'll tell you that. One, season 5 is not already written, but nice try, Red is a flavor. I could see that though. I could see the Spencer going the whole junior college route. That could also be his way out because I don't think that they can actually limit his eligibility on the junior college level. It will only be if he reneged on going to another D1 school. So he really could wind up at a junior college. I don't even know if I want him going with Jordan, because Jordan, I don't trust you with Spencer. I don't trust Billy with Spencer no more. I don't trust Jordan with Spencer. Y'all don't know how to take care of our homie. Like, he be out here riding for y'all, loving on y'all, showing up for y'all, doing any and everything that he can do for your betterment. And at any time, at any given point, y'all asses are totally fine to throw him out the bus and ride over top of him. I'm okay. I I get it. Like, we need to see them together. Like, they have to do something together so that they can all stay on the show. But we're gonna have to figure out these storylines where these people are less dependent upon him because they don't appreciate him, and I'm tired of it. Yeah, Darren. Only reason why Spencer would go to a JUCO is for some reason he can't get out of the deal with Toledo State. I agree. Zamir, the coach from, not the coach, the doctor that works with the, I don't know what the Los Angeles team's mascot is, but the Los Angeles professional team, they also did a check on his heart, and it's real, and it's because of the steroids. Tony R&B says Ohio is the only way we get a real Bolivia split before they get back together in game. No, we can get a split with her going somewhere. Like, I totally could see if they really go down the journalism route. I could see her going to Northwestern, which is a huge school for journalism. If they go down the art route, I could see her going to school in San Francisco with all the arty people. So it doesn't have to be just Spencer that could leave. Olivia has options too if they choose to pursue them. Billy is definitely going on to coach somewhere. That's also in the synopsis of episode 4. Again, I will link it in the description of this video so that y'all can check it out. Um, But again, I don't want him to coach Spencer. Like, can he coach a rival team? Because he just don't deserve. Go coach your son. You mad that Spencer did a better job coaching your son? Go to a junior college and coach your son, and y'all have at it. You just get him to the NFL. Show him what you're working with. Like, do your thing. I doubt Olivia is going to Brankston, so don't get your hopes up. But I'm not here to steal nobody's joy. So if you really want to believe that, then go for it. Drop into what brings you peace and joy. Lorinda, come on here with this. That was a great way to put it. I didn't articulate it that way, but yeah, Asha and Layla were derailed in this episode. But then they still had Asher drinking. I was kind of disappointed in that. I was disappointed that he had some of the champagne with Layla, because I think that Asher should be just as much as Olivia. He should be um really exploring his dependence on substances and potentially working on sobriety. They haven't done anything with JJ yet. But y'all, we do have 22 episodes in this season. After episode 5, which we can talk about this now. After episode 5 premieres, they're going to take a break and they're going to come back, and it's going to be interesting because initially the plan was for them to premiere um Homecoming while All American, the original, was on a break so they could operate the same time slot. I don't know if they're behind. I haven't done any digging around, y'all, because I've been kind of busy. But I don't know if they're behind in production or what has caused the shifts, but right now it's looking like, or there's talks of All American Homecoming is going to premiere, and then All American is going to come back after this long hiatus, both on February 21st. And they're going to be running back to back, which is going to be kind of, I think it's going to be kind of interesting. I don't know. Right now they're running the 4400 in the time slot behind All American, and I think that that's great. I don't know if people are going to sit for 2 hours of the All American universe, and it made sense to me for them to be able to maintain that time slot and have them not run it at the exact same time. But it don't seem like that's what's going to happen. From what I've seen in the synopsis, I have to do the episode 5 synopsis breakdown after episode 5, which will premiere um, not next week, but the week after. They are taking a break until the 21st, which is going to be almost a 3-month break. And I'll tell you one thing, I am not interested in them doing a bunch of hiatuses this season 2, because that was a lot as well. Like, for us to go through what we went through in season 3 with all that was happening with those plot lines and then all of those breaks, like, it was 3 whole hiatuses. And I'm not actually here for it, but it's my job to keep y'all updated, and that's where we're at with it right now. You think Montez should coach Spencer? I don't think Montez is a good coach, but Spencer, I don't think that she would do much. Because Spencer don't need, like, she really impacted the players that needed discipline, that needed to learn how to be better leaders, that needed to be better team players. Spencer's already all 3 of those things. Uniquely Jasmine C says, I'm glad I got a DVR. It's gonna be interesting. I'm also struggling with, like, what is the timeline gonna look like if they have Homecoming and All American premiering at the same time. And I know that they want to have all of these characters go back and forth, or like at least have the All American characters go and pop up in the All American Homecoming world. It's like, how? Because are they going to graduate by season 5? I mean, not by season 5. Are they going to graduate by episode 5? Like, I did not imagine them getting through graduation by episode 5. So we're going to pick up with All American Homecoming, and then what? They're still going to be in college? And Spencer's actually really going to go early? Like, is Simone going early too now? Like, what is actually happening? I got to really sit down and process and think about what that is going to mean. Um, Sabrinson 01. I think this is more than COVID, because right now, like a lot of things have got like they've gotten into the swing of things. They know how to film. Like there's heavy testing. Like I'm actually doing a celebrity shoot on Friday, and we have heavy tested and things in place. Like there's certain things that just are like now standard, so it's not the same as when they were filming last season. They were trying to figure it out and trying to make do. Now they actually know what to do. They have things in place, so it shouldn't be as big of a hindrance. Like COVID shouldn't be as big of a hindrance. Yeah, 3 whole months, y'all. I'm just like, okay. I get December and January because that's typically when primetime shows actually break. But y'all not coming back to February 21st. What are we supposed to do with that? And then I still got to sit down and break down like what that would look like in reference to the weeks. And I definitely think we're going to get a second hiatus before that. I don't see them actually running with 17 episodes straight. So we're going to get another break before the season is done. All right. Well, y'all, that is my thoughts. Thank you so much for joining me for the after show and talking about all of this with me. Overall, I greatly, greatly enjoyed this episode. All because of Spolivia. Well, Spolivia and Mama Grace. They both gave me everything that I needed. I'm very excited to see where Spencer and Olivia go. I'm very excited to see where Olivia goes. Next episode, we're going to dive into a little bit of Sis's future, and I'm rooting for her. I cannot wait. I will be dropping a breakdown video tomorrow with a little bit more concise thoughts and overall like a process view of what we saw in this episode. Anything that I missed, drop it down in the comment section down below so I can include it into my breakdown video as well as my preview video. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button, join the tribe so that you don't miss any of my videos. I love y'all so much for joining me. Shout out to the East Coast folks. It's mad late over there, but y'all some real ones. And I'm going to see you in the next amazing All American video. Bye.